The Dallas Cowboys are finally conducting what can truly be described as a real tactical storm seems to be located right in Texas. Behind-the-scenes movements indicate that the Dallas Cowboys are immersed in a deep and exhaustive search for a new head coach for their defensive unit, a process that completely deviates from the traditional patterns we've seen in the franchise in previous years. There's a growing buzz that can't be ignored, especially when we look at our division rivals. The news that John Harbaugh is increasingly close to taking over as head coach of the New York Giants is sending shockwaves throughout the league and directly impacting the Cowboys' planning. If this deal is sealed, we will have a colossal challenge ahead, as the arrival of a name of this caliber to the Giants transforms the balance of power in our conference. It's a significant addition that changes the competitive landscape and puts even more pressure on the decisions the Dallas Cowboys need to make in the coming days. Before we delve into the tactical details of this rebuilding process, I want to invite you to join us on this journey. If you're passionate about the Lone Star team, take this opportunity to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment on what you think of all this activity. Your participation is crucial to keeping the fan sentiment updated as we navigate this busy off-season. Following each step of this evolution is what unites us as fans, and your voice helps build this analysis of the future of our defense. The search for a new defensive coordinator in Dallas has already yielded an extensive list of candidates, showing that the front office is truly willing to cast a wide net to find the right piece. Among the names that have recently emerged, two arouse particular interest due to their background and style. Christian Parker, who has served as passing game coordinator and secondary coach for the Eagles, emerges as an extremely intriguing option. His career includes stints with the Broncos, where he worked under brilliant defensive minds like Vic Fangio, and time with major college programs like Notre Dame. Parker represents exactly what many fans have been asking for: a young coach on the rise with a modern focus on the secondary. He fits a new mold, focused on contemporary defensive systems that prioritize versatility and tactical intelligence, something that could be the difference maker for the Dallas Cowboys next season. Meanwhile, Charlie Bullen's name also came up in interviews, bringing with him the recent experience of having served as interim defensive coordinator for their New York rivals. Bullen has a solid background in linebacker training and an interesting connection to aggressive systems, having worked alongside respected names in the college and professional scene. The fact that Dallas is interviewing professionals who currently hold positions with direct rivals or who come from respected tactical backgrounds shows a maturation in the selection process. We are no longer seeing just those routine interviews with 3 or 4 obvious names. We are witnessing a real sweep, a genuine effort to identify who can get the most out of the talent available on the current roster. This selection process, being so comprehensive and detailed, deserves recognition, as it indicates a pursuit of tactical excellence above simply being a big name or relying on internal favoritism. The big question hanging in the air is how these emerging talents, like Parker and Bullen, compare to the established veterans who are also on the radar. The strategy of seeking young coaches without prior experience as head coordinators is something that deviates from the team's conservative history, but it is precisely this boldness that can revitalize a defense that needs new ideas. While the league's coaching market moves rapidly, Dallas seems to be in a phase of careful analysis, using remote communication platforms to conduct an initial screening before moving on to definitive in-person meetings. This initial mapping phase is crucial to ensure that when the official announcement is made, the chosen candidate is someone capable of implementing a playing philosophy that restores pride to the Texas fans. Expectations are high, and each new name interviewed adds an extra layer of suspense about which direction the franchise will decide to take to shield its defense against the potent offenses we will face. As the smoke from the initial virtual meetings begins to settle, the reality of the market imposes itself with overwhelming force. The NFL market waits for no one, and the Dallas Cowboys seem to have finally understood that passivity doesn't win championships. The big shadow hanging over AT&T Stadium is Brian Flores. The former Dolphins coach and architect of aggressive defenses in Minnesota has had his contract expire, making him the most coveted free agent of this cycle. Fans are clamoring for him, but the path is tortuous. Flores has clear ambitions to return as a head coach, and although rumors indicate that he is at the top of Jerry Jones' list of considerations, the competition is fierce. The Washington Commanders have already moved for an in-person interview, which puts Dallas at a strategic crossroads. Wait for the Phase 2 of interviews, or act now before one of the brightest minds in American football slips through their fingers. This urgency is fueled by a real fear coming from the East. The possibility of seeing John Harbaugh Giants become a concrete reality is the kind of news that keeps any fan up at night. Imagine facing the discipline and winning mentality of a Harbaugh twice a year, while our defense tries to find its footing under new leadership. That's why this year's NFL coaching carousel in Dallas is the most important of the Mike McCarthy era. We need someone who not only calls plays, but changes the culture. Names like Jim Leonhard and Zach Orr bring that promise of innovation, but the pressure on Dak Prescott and the rest of the offense will be unbearable if the defensive unit doesn't stop bleeding yards. The Cowboys Report has been monitoring every sign of smoke, and what we see is a franchise trying to balance the experience of a veteran with the hunger for young talent. Speaking of young talent, the industrial espionage strategy within the division continues full steam ahead. The interview with Christian Parker isn't just a search for a promising name, it's an attempt to disrupt the passing success of rivals. Under Parker's tutelage, we've seen the Philadelphia secondary transform rookies into all-pros, and that's exactly the alchemy the Dallas Cowboys defense needs for 2026. At the same time, the interest in Charlie Bullen reveals a deeper layer to the plan: the connection. Bullen and Jim Leonhard have worked together in the past, and NFL rumors suggest Dallas may be assembling not just a coordinator, but an entire elite coaching staff, where Bullen would bring his aggressiveness in the pass rush to complement Leonhard's intelligence in the secondary. It's a tactical chess game where every piece moved by Jerry Jones has a greater purpose. The future demands courage. If the Dallas Cowboys truly want to be America's team, statistically, and not just in name, the choice of the new Cowboys Defensive Coordinator needs to be impeccable. There's no more room for system errors or lack of adaptation. The fans are tired of promises and want to see the same intensity we've seen in flashes in recent years applied consistently. Whether with the aggressiveness of a Flores or the modernity of a Parker, the ultimate goal is the same: to ensure that the brilliance of the Lone Star doesn't fade in the face of increasingly powerful offenses. The next few weeks will determine whether we have a defense capable of sustaining a championship campaign, or if we will continue to be mere extras in January. The table is set, the cards are dealt, and the world of American football is watching to see what the next step will be for the Texas Giant.